You want to make more money and you want to make a lot of money quickly, but there is a difference between making money quickly and blindly chasing trends where you think you're gonna get rich quick, but you actually end up losing everything. So let's talk realistically about how long will it take you to double your money investing in the stock market. And who I'm talking about as well, I went from almost $100,000 in debt to six-figure investor at 40 by learning how money works. So let me share with you the exact active strategies I used to wipe out that debt and build a six-figure net worth by the time I hit 40. This isn't a story about luck, it's a story about a plan. And let's be real, $100,000 in debt feels like a life sentence when you just starting out. For me, it was the usual toxic cocktail, mortgage, and the classic credit card debt that just appears when you're making just enough to get by. Every single paycheck felt like it was spent before it even hit my account. I was stuck in that horrible cycle. Work, pay bills, stress about what's left, and repeat. The feeling of being trapped was just overwhelming. I listened to the gurus talk about the magic of compound interest, and their timelines felt like they were for a different species of human. Thinking that S&P 500 would make me wealthy in 2060 was a nice thought, but it didn't do a thing for the panic I felt right then and there. I knew a passive approach wasn't going to cut it. Passivity is what got me into this mess. I had to be active. I had to go on the fence. My journey from that negative $100,000 starting line wasn't a slow, steady crawl. It was a 10-year, all-out sprint, and it was fueled by a radical shift in my strategy, in my mindset, and it all started with one crucial realization. And before I made a single extra dollar, paid off 1 cent of debt, the real change happened right here between my ears. I had to switch from scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. This scarcity mindset is what keeps you trapped. It's that little voice in your head whispers, there's only so much to go around, I'll never get ahead. Or the classic one, I'm just bad with money. And as long as I was thinking that way, I was a victim of my finances. I was letting my dad run my life. The switch flipped when I stopped seeing that as some kind of moral failing and started seeing it for what it actually is, a math problem. It was just a negative number on a spreadsheet, and my job was to make the positive numbers bigger and faster. This meant I had to stop being a passive consumer and become an active creator of my own financial reality. I quit blaming my situation on everything else and took total, radical ownership. The question wasn't about what I couldn't do anymore. The question was what I was going to do. This one shift from victim to agent of my own life was the foundation, because without it, none of the strategies that followed would have ever worked, because I wouldn't have that grit to see them through. And I'm sure you've probably heard of the debt snowball method. You list your debts from smallest to the largest and just hammer the smallest one first, ignoring the interest rate. Well, that's what Dave Ramsey says. And once it's gone, you roll that payment over to the next smallest debt. Well, it's so powerful because it gives you this quick psychological wins that build momentum and make you feel like you're actually making progress. I took this concept, put it on steroids, and flipped it over. See, the standard advice assumes your income is fixed. My on steroids version was built on one single principle. I had to aggressively and relentlessly increase my income for the sole purpose of fueling the snowball. My free time was no longer leisure time. It was an opportunity. I picked up 2 side hustles, and here is the key point. I wasn't passionate about them at all. This wasn't about finding my calling. This was about earning ammunition to fight my debt. I started doing freelance social media marketing for small businesses, which pulled in an extra $500, sometimes $1,000 a month. And then I added another client, which brought in another $400. And all of a sudden, I had an extra $900, sometimes $1,400 a month. But This is the crucial part. I never let that money touch my main bank account. It was automatically transferred to a separate account, one designed purely for debt destruction. Every extra dollar wasn't for coffee or clothes, it was a weapon aimed straight at my debt. And this extra cash supercharged my debt snowball, letting me kill all the loans and credit card balances in months, not years. That momentum was intoxicating and it proved my new mindset was right. I wasn't stuck. And here is another piece of contrarian advice that was absolutely critical for me. The common wisdom says to build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund before you do anything else. This isn't bad advice at all, but for my situation, that was slow advice, especially with high interest debt breathing down my neck. My credit card was sitting at 12% interest rate. There is no savings account on planet Earth that will give you a 12% return. And by holding a ton of cash in a savings account, I was actually losing money every single day to interest payments. So I modified the rule. I saved a small $1,000 oops fund that was enough to cover a flat tire or surprise medical bill without derailing the whole plan. But as soon as it was full, I stopped saving and started attacking. Every single spare dollar went directly into my high interest debt. Why? Because paying off a 12% credit card is a guaranteed tax-free 12% return on your money. You just can't find that in the stock market, trust me. And once that high interest debt was vaporized, I didn't just go back to being a saver. Savers hoard cash and cash loses value to inflation every year. I immediately became an investor. The money that used to go to Visa or Discover was now being deployed into assets that could actually grow. The goal isn't just to have a big pile of cash sitting around. The goal is to have your money working for you just as hard as you worked for it. And the next strategy is the one that truly blew the doors off my entire wealth building journey. It's how I took my single biggest monthly expense, housing, and turned it into an income stream. It's a strategy called house hacking. The concept is beautifully simple. You buy a small multifamily property or rental, and the best case scenario, the rent you collect from your tenants covers your entire mortgage, plus taxes, insurance, and maybe even some repairs. After I cleared out all my consumer debt, I saved obsessively for a down payment on a rental property in an up-and-coming neighborhood. And guess what? It was old. It needed some love, but the numbers worked. Within 2 months, my housing cost went from $1,200 a month in rent to effectively zero. In fact, after the mortgage was paid, I was actually making an extra $200 in cash flow every month. And this is where you see the absolute magic of leverage. With stock, if you want to buy $100,000 worth of an index fund, you need, well, $100,000. But with real estate, I could buy a $300,000 asset with a down payment of 3 or 5%. I just using the bank's money to control a large asset that was growing in value, all while my tenant was paying down my loan. For me, is the ultimate wealth cheat code. That rental property didn't just eliminate my housing expense and free up over $1,000 a month for investing. Its value grew significantly over the next few years, building my net worth on autopilot. Next, my first side hustles were all about trading my time for money. That's effective for killing debt, but it isn't scalable and I couldn't work more than 24 hours in a day. The next phase of my active strategy was to move from trading time for dollars to building scalable income streams. The cash flow from a house hack and the money I wasn't lighting on fire with debt payments gave me something incredibly valuable: breathing room. I used this newfound time and capital to build systems that could make money without my direct hourly involvement. And for me, this started with creating a small digital product related to my freelance writing niche. It was a ton of work up front, trust me, but once it was made, it could hundreds of thousands of times while I was asleep. Then I started this YouTube channel sharing the very strategies I was using. Over time, through ad revenue and affiliate marketing, it became another income stream. The key principle here is to shift from being an employee in your own side hustle to being the owner of the system, whether it's a digital product, content creation, an e-commerce store, or something else. Building a business, even a small one, is how you truly uncap your income potential. Your salary pays the bills, but it's your income streams that build your wealth. So, how did all these pieces come together to build a six-figure net worth in just under 10 years? It wasn't one single strategy, it was the synergy of all of them working together. The first 2 years were just a brutal head-down fight against debt, fueled entirely by extra income from those side hustles. Year 3 and 4 were all about saving for and pulling off the first house hack. This was a massive turning point for me. It instantly freed up more than $15,000 a year. Years 5 through 7 were all about acceleration. That freed up cash flow was immediately funneled into two places: a simple S&P 500 index fund for stable long-term growth and saving up for the next property. My business income started to grow, eventually matching and then blowing past my day job salary. Look, a 40-year plan to passively invest your way to wealth is a totally valid one. It's safe, it's proven, and it works only if you start early in life. But it's not the only path. And if you're in a hole right now, or if you just have ambitions that are too big to wait for 4 decades, you need to understand that an active, strategic approach can radically shorten that timeline. This might all sound intimidating. You might be thinking, what? Buy a rental, start a business? I can't do that. But just remember, my very first steps wasn't buying a building. It was figuring out how to make an extra $100 a week, writing blog posts. That's it. You start there, you get one small win, and that builds the confidence to take the next step, and then the next. The formula is undeniable. More active effort plus more capital invested upfront plus time equals wealth. You have direct control over the active effort and capital variables. So stop waiting for wealth to happen to you. Go out and start building it actively and intentionally starting today. And if you want a deep dive on one of these steps, make sure you subscribe to this channel because we're just getting started. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in this video right here.